Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Heldman. I'm an occupational therapy practitioner and assistive technology professional. I work at the Wood County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and today we're going to be talking about assistive technology for education. I want to let you know that I'm recording this on March 5th, 2026, and that's important for you to note because assistive technology is always changing. So things that I share today, as far as I know, they could be gone tomorrow, and new things will likely be coming out very quickly too. So hopefully this will just give you some ideas to get started. So education, I just want to get us on the same page. Education is not just when we're in school, it's really just how we learn at any point in time. So think about what are some things that you've tried to learn recently and how did you learn them? So we all learn differently. We all use different resources. I'm very quick. Like if someone wants to teach me something, I'm like, hang on, you have to show me or I have to read it. You can't just tell me auditorily. I need to see it in action or I need to be able to read it. But all of us learn things differently. So one way that we learn is visual. I'm a very visual learner myself. So creating visual schedules, we can do this low tech. We can have 3D printed visual schedules where we are able to slide something over to kind of add in a movement or kinesthetic piece using applications like the ChoiceWorks app that gives us a clear-cut visual schedule of what to do next. You can also use tools like color coding. So I have different types of meetings and different types of projects that I'm working on color coded on my calendar. We can enlarge materials so that they're easily accessible to different people. We may include pictures in our schedules or just have words or only have pictures. We might use highlighting or underlining. Because I'm such a visual learner, I tend not to highlight a lot of things because I would just be highlighting everything. But sometimes I'll use a bold or an underline for headings. We can use diagrams, charts, and graphs to help organize information. There's a great tool called mind mapping, um, and you can find many different mind mapping applications via apps or on the internet, or you could just start drawing it out on a piece of paper yourself. Goblin Tools is a great free resource. This is available in an app as well as online. And one of the sub sections of Goblin Tools is to be able to do make a list, kind of a brain dump of all the things that you need to do, or you can have it complete a task analysis. So maybe today I need to go renew my Ohio driver's license. I can put that task in, and Goblin Tools will parse it out into all the different steps of things that I need to do. There's also educational supports for hearing or auditory, so using things like audiobooks or recorded text. Being able to dictate a note, so talking out loud, and having your computer or smartphone type things up for you. Honestly, I do this a lot as an occupational therapy practitioner. Sometimes I will just open up after a home visit, I will open up my Microsoft Outlook and I'll just start dictating an email to myself with notes from that visit. That way, when I go back and do my documentation, everything is kind of recorded and fresh in my mind. We can use text to speech. So this is when typed text gets converted into auditory speech. We can use screen readers where that typed text is read out loud to us. Many screen readers are built into our smartphones, tablets, and computers. So depending on what kind of device you have, I would encourage you to explore the accessibility features. We can use sound amplification or personal audio systems so folks can hear us better and easier. And then using things like smart speakers like Google or Alexa to have directions explained auditorily. And then using communication devices. If a person does not have speech that they produce regularly, they may also use a communication device. Photoed here is a device called the Catch Box. So this is a microphone built into a soft box. And the idea behind it is you can toss it around an entire room. And as folks are answering questions and engaging, they're going to be able to talk into this microphone, and then everyone's going to be able to hear them. For note taking, there's lots of strategies for note taking. Tools like the Rocketbook and the Live Scribe can be helpful to folks. Also having dictated notes, again, using my voice to take those notes, or using software like Notability, Genio, and Otter are different AI tools that can help take notes as well. Reading, we have lots of scan marker pens that read across text or scan across text and then read that text aloud to us. Depending on which pen you're getting, this can work on typed text that's on a surface, like a book, a physical book, or some of them also work if they're scanned across screens as well, depending on which one you get. Text to speech. So again, that typed text is converted to audible speech. We can just eliminate and have less text on a page, or condense or modify text. So there's ways that we can highlight a paragraph and then have it converted into a lower reading level so that's a little bit easier for me to digest. PDF readers and read aloud mode, again, are going to take that text and read it aloud to you. Reading mode in Chrome is really beneficial if you've ever run across a web page that has tons of ads or pictures and just a lot of distractions in it. If you go under the tools on your Chrome browser and then reading mode, a window will pop up that's just the words from that page, and it'll eliminate all that extra advertisements, pictures, things like that. And then from there, you can have it read aloud to you. You can change the contrast. You can change the size. You can kind of manipulate that text so that it's easier for you to read. There's lots of tools for writing. So things like spell check and grammar check, or using word banks and predictive text. So how many of you have ever started to type an email and then Outlook kind of starts populating the email for you? That's predictive text. Using things like pencil grips or universal cuffs or slant boards and arm supports. Those are all physical assistants for writing. And that Goblin tools that I talked about earlier that has the to-do list and the task analysis, another part of Goblin tool is called the formalizer. So maybe I'm needing to write an email and I need some help revising that. I need some help understanding the tone of what I'm writing. So the formalizer, as well as the judge, which within Goblin tools, can help me modify my writing a little bit to make it more formal, less formal, more friendly. I can also judge the tone of it. So is the tone of it looking for help, or is the tone of it complaining? Is the tone of it sarcastic? And that can help us understand not only the messages that we're writing, but you can also copy and paste messages that you've received to help understand the tone of them. Using AI tools like ChatGPT can be helpful for writing and kind of brainstorming how to write or what to write. Again, using speech to text, so talking and having your software or your computer write it for you. And then there's things like Dragon e-learning that can help with writing as well. Many of us have found that we need to move around a little bit. We need to have some movement or kinesthetic when we're learning. And that's when we learn by doing, but also just incorporating some movement and motion while learning can be helpful. So following along with movies or YouTube videos. So maybe you're watching an exercise video or a recipe video and you're following along and you're doing it as you're watching. Maybe you're setting up a piece of assistive technology and you pull up a YouTube video of how to do it and you're following along with the video. Again, creating video models so we can use QR codes that folks can scan and then have a video model of how to complete a specific task. Using some of these sensory tools that you see pictured here, like alternative seating, wiggle seats, foot pads to wiggle about, can help kind of just regulate our bodies a little bit. Oftentimes folks are using fidgets nowadays. So I've got fidgets, within an arm's reach of me, and most of my office mates have a thing of fidgets on their desk as well. We can also use timers for movement breaks. So to allow folks to just have a little bit of time to get up and move, recenter themselves, and come back to learning. You can also use alternative computer access, things like switches. Can be used. Smile Mouse is a mouse program where you use facial gestures to control your computer. You can also use eye gaze, alternative mice. So pictured here are a bunch of alternative mice from Microsoft. So they have ones that toggle, the ones that are joystick, ones that are up, down, left, and right arrows. So there's all sorts of different computer mice that you can use. There's also all sorts of keyboards. So keyboards that are enlarged, one-handed keyboards, keyboards where the left and right hand are separated out more. So you can really modify your keyboard. You can also use a stylus to access touch screens, and you may even have a modified desk, so being able to raise and lower the height of your desk or slant your desk. We can also free up distractions to help us with learning, so using things like visual timers and to-do lists. We can use a focus feature on our computer, and this would, every time I log into my computer, it's going to tell me what my focus is of the day. So if my focus today is get this video recorded, every time I log into my computer, it's going to say record that video. You can use do not disturb on your phone, so set times when you're working. Find My Flow is a website to build study habits that can be helpful to some folks. Sometimes using noise reduction things like noise canceling headphones or listening to white noise. There's also distraction management apps like Forest and Stay Focused that you might choose to explore. So I want you to remember that education doesn't just have to do with being in school. It has to do with learning anything new. If you are in school, make sure that you're working with your team. If you are in K through 12, that you're working with the IEP team or requesting accommodations through a 504. If you're a college student, your IEP and your 504 don't actually follow you to those environments. So if you need accommodations, you need to talk to the Disability Services Organization on campus. And if you are county board connected, we can help you navigate that. If you have any questions, please reach out to remote support at woodcountydd.org.